A good Erev Shabbos to one and all. It's been a while since we've communicated this way, but with the changing of the clock, I wanted to share 3 points with everyone this morning. Again, Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayera, Yutes Cheshva, November 6th, 2020. First and foremost, I want to mention how we've been trying to ramp up all of our programming, trying to bring a sense of normalcy back. And Baruch Hashem, our youth programs are now starting to last Shabbos with the afternoon programs, youth programs before Mincha. And this week we hope to continue that, weather permitting. And tomorrow night, it'll be indoors, socially distanced, back to parent-child learning with pizza and prizes for everyone. So we encourage everyone to make sure that they sign up for the afternoon groups, again, weather permitting, and for the parent-child learning, which will definitely be on tomorrow evening. Due to the change of the clock, there's a number of changes in our schedules. Throughout this time, Shabbos afternoon, since we don't have Shal Shudas in Shul, we'd have to have Shal Shudas at home. And it's definitely better, l'chatchila, to have Shal Shudas after one davens mincha. But now it's getting too early, so we have to flip that schedule, and the afternoon shir that we normally have on Shabbos will take place actually in the slot of Shal Shudas that we would have in Shul between Mincha and Ma'ariv. So tomorrow afternoon, we'll daven Mincha a little later than we would normally daven, have the shir in between, and then followed by Ma'ariv. What about Shal Shudas? Shal Shudas is going to have to still be at home, unfortunately, and it will be before Mincha. Now, under normal circumstances, I would tell you it's always better to have Shal Shudas after Mincha, but in this situation, the Chatchila one is best to have even Shal Shudas even before davening Mincha. But it's brought down that one, in a situation like this, it's preferred to have Shal Shudas, eat your third meal, at least before Mincha Ketana. That time tomorrow is 2:38. So try your best to have your Shal Shudas before and finish before that time, around that time. And that's, again, I say, a better way of fulfilling the mitzvah of Shal Shudas. Tomorrow afternoon, shir between Mincha and Ma'ariv will focus on all of the different opinions and ways of doing this on a regular basis and during the time of the pandemic. Third, I'd like to share with you a little hint, an insight into tomorrow's drasha, a little window. Parshas Vayera, Avraham Avinu is being visited by the Malachim as we know them, but he doesn't realize that at first. He thinks that they are 3 Arabs, 3 nomads. And as they approach, Avraham Avinu tells them at the beginning of the parasha, Yukach namat mayim, take some water, wash off your feet. And then you could come and rest under the tree. But before you come in, do me a favor, wash off your feet. Rashi tells us, explains, why is this necessary? Because he felt that this was avodah zarah, that there was an avodah zarah of, they would worship the dust on their feet. There was some type of idolatry. And of course, Avraham Avinu, who had just come to the recognition of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the one God, monotheism in the world, he says, I can't have this in my home. And therefore, wash it off, and then you can come in. The Shineveh Rebbe asks, we don't find any place in the Gemara Avodah Zarah, Sanhedrin, in the Midrashim, we don't find a place where there was an Avodah Zarah that was linked to dust on their feet. Now, I did check online. You can look some Google it up as well if you want, and find that yes, there were types of this type of idolatry, but the Shineveh Rebbe says there's no such thing. We don't hear of it before. This is the only time we see it. Shineveh Rebbe explains. He says sometimes a person sees a businessman, and they say a wealthy person, they say, how did he get so wealthy? Oh, you know what he does? He travels all over the world. He's in Hong Kong, he's in China, he's in South Africa, he's in Europe, he's in South America, throughout the United States, he travels all over the world, getting the best deals, finding the best interests, finding where he can make the most money, and he's successful at it. So the Shineveh Rebbe explains that the Gemara very often, particularly when it says the word Aravi, It doesn't mean an Arab like we know it in today's terms. But really the word Aravi is more known as a merchant. And that's what he explains. He says that this person is a merchant. He is going around, he's traveling, and he has kicked up and he has dust on his feet from all of his travels. And he thinks, and people look at it and see, wow, why did he get so much money? Why did he become so wealthy? Because of his travels. Now, of course, we understand that there is always a shtadlus, there's always the effort that has to go into something. And he's doing that. But he's attributing it all to his travels. And that's to the dust of his feet. Avram Avinu is telling them, listen, you may have traveled, you may have made a lot of money, you think it's your own efforts, you may think it's your strength, but remember it's not. Everything comes from the Ribono Shel Olam. Everything comes from upon high. And therefore, during this pandemic, as we continue with all the challenges, all the difficulties, all the highs and all the lows, the benefits, the detractors, things that's going on for the last 8 months already, many things. One common theme that we have to remember and never ever forget, that it all comes from the one above, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what Avraham Avinu is telling them. Wash that idea of that idolatry, that it's you, because anything that we take away the recognition from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from God, and think that it's our own and it's not Hashem providing, that is an idolatry. We're worshiping our own efforts and something away from Hashem. And that's the strong message that Avraham Avinu is telling us even today, that we should also make sure that all the things that we attribute to ourselves and to others, wow, look at that. They're so wealthy. That's a bracha. From where? From HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yes, they worked for it. They did their efforts. Nevertheless, it comes all from Hashem. And let us all think about in these terms. And hopefully when we keep on focus and we don't stray to think of other terms outside of this, and we think about it's only from the Ribono Shel Olam, then the true blessings will come to all of us. Wishing you all a good Shabbos, to keep in mind. We'll continue to do what we can, but ultimately to serve the Ribono Shel Olam in any challenge, in any situation that we have. Hope to see you all soon. Be safe. Your families, be healthy. We hope to see everyone at the upcoming programs, whether online, in person, as we try to get back to a normal life. Once again, wishing everyone a good Shabbos.